How many times have you set goals but never actually reached them? Doesn't it feel more disheartening to fall short than to never set them at all? But here's the thing. Avoiding goal setting can leave us feeling aimless. Imagine if just a few simple tips could turn those goals into reality and help you make real progress. Today, we're diving into a concept that has been a breakthrough for many: SMART goals. Hang tight as we explore how to set goals effectively so you can achieve them and transform every area of your life. Whether it's leveling up your career, improving your health, strengthening your relationships, or fostering personal growth. Why set goals? Well, think about it. Goals give us direction. They help us figure out where we want to go in life. It's like having a map. Without it, we might just wander around aimlessly, right? Then there's motivation. Who doesn't want to feel that rush of excitement when you're working toward something meaningful? When we set clear goals, we're more likely to push ourselves, stay focused, and celebrate those little wins along the way. And let's not forget about fulfillment. There's something incredibly rewarding about achieving what you set out to do. It builds your confidence and reminds you of what you're capable of. Setting and achieving goals sounds great in theory, but let's be real, it's not always easy. There are several roadblocks that can pop up even before you start or along the way. For starters, there's often a lack of motivation. It's easy to kick things off with enthusiasm, but keeping that momentum going over time? That's where it gets tricky. Without a clear, solid plan, that initial excitement can fade faster than you think. Then there's the fear of failure. You know, that nagging doubt that whispers, "What if I can't do it?" It can really make us hesitate. Another challenge is unclear objectives. Vague goals can leave you feeling totally lost. For instance, saying, "I want to be healthier" can sound great, but without specific, actionable steps, it's hard to know where to start or how to measure your progress. And let's not forget about procrastination. We've all been there, right? Putting off tasks because the goal seems overwhelming. That "I'll start tomorrow" mindset can turn our dreams into distant possibilities if we're not careful. So, how do we handle these roadblocks? This is where SMART goals really feature in. Applying SMART criteria helps you create a structured way to set goals that are not just wishful thinking, but actionable steps that are much more likely to stick. They guide you through the process and help you stay on track. So, what is a SMART criterion? SMART stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. Let's break it down. Specific. This is all about clarity. Instead of saying, "I want to be healthier," get specific, like, "I'll go for a brisk walk for 30 minutes every day." The clearer your goal, the easier it is to know what to do. Now let's talk about being measurable. This means you should have a way to track your progress. It's all about knowing when you've hit your goal and celebrating those wins along the way. For example, instead of saying, "I want to save money," you could say, "I want to save $500 in the next 2 months." This gives you a clear target to aim for. You can check in on your savings each week and see how close you are to that goal. This not only keeps you motivated, but also helps you adjust your plan if you're falling behind. So remember, measurable goals let you see your progress and keep you inspired to keep going. Achievable. It's important to set goals that stretch you, but are still within reach. It's great to aim high, but don't set yourself up for failure. If you're new to running, a goal of completing a 5 kilometers is much more manageable than jumping straight into a marathon. Relevant. Make sure your goal matters to you. Ask yourself why this goal is important. If it aligns with your values and long-term aspirations, you're more likely to stay committed. Time-bound. Set a deadline. Giving yourself a time frame creates urgency. For example, I want to learn to cook 3 new recipes by the end of the month, gives you a clear timeline to work with. Now that you have your SMART goals in place, it's time to create your roadmap. Think of this as your action plan, guiding you step by step from where you are now to where you want to be. Here's how to get started. Identify key milestones. Break your goal down into major steps. If your goal is to write a book, key milestones might include brainstorming ideas, drafting chapters, and editing. These milestones act as signposts along your journey. Develop an action plan. Break each milestone into smaller, actionable tasks. If you're working on that book, this might mean dedicating 30 minutes each day to writing or setting a deadline for completing your first draft. Track your progress. Keep an eye on how you're doing. Use a planner or an app to monitor your daily tasks and regularly check in on your progress. This way, you can celebrate small wins and make adjustments if needed. Creating this roadmap will not only keep you organized, but also make your goals feel more achievable. All right, before we wrap up, let's have a quick chat about tackling those pesky challenges we talked about earlier. We've all been there, so let's make it real. Lack of motivation. You know those days when getting off the couch feels like a marathon? Yeah, we've all had those. One great way to boost your motivation is to celebrate the little wins. Every time you hit a milestone, treat yourself. Did you stick to your plan this week? Yes, treat yourself to a movie night or your favorite dessert. It's those small victories that keep the fire burning. Fear of failure. That little voice that says, "What if I mess up?" can be a real buzzkill, right? Here's the secret. It's perfectly normal to feel that way. Embrace a growth mindset. Think of setbacks as learning opportunities. They're not failures. They're just part of the journey. You're not just building a goal, you're building resilience. Remember, I discussed growth mindset in our last video. Unclear objectives. If your goals feel a bit fuzzy, take a moment to refine them. Ask yourself, is this specific enough? What does hitting this goal look like for me? Getting clear can work wonders. Procrastination. Oh, procrastination, the ultimate dream killer. That "I'll start tomorrow" mindset can sneak up on anyone. Combat it by breaking your goals into super small, manageable tasks. Instead of "I need to write a report," think "I'll write 1 paragraph today." It makes starting feel way less daunting. As we wrap up, let's take a moment to reflect. Setting SMART goals isn't just about making lists. It's about creating a clear pathway to your dreams. By being specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound, you're equipping yourself with the tools to overcome challenges and make meaningful progress. So I challenge you. This week, take a moment to identify one goal you want to achieve. Use the SMART framework to shape it and start taking those first steps. Write it down where you'll see it every day, or share your goals with someone who can support you, and let's hold each other accountable. You have the power to transform your aspirations into reality. Let's go out there and make it happen. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more strategies on unlocking your full potential. I'd love to hear your thoughts on goal setting, your own goal-setting experiences, or any questions you have, so feel free to share in the comments below. Thank you for watching. Stay motivated, and I'll see you in the next video.